So the next important topic is threads. What is thread? It is also a piece of code. A thread is a single sequential flow of control within a process. So we can tell a thread is a subset of a process. A thread is also known as lightweight process. So it is also a process, but it is a part of the process. A process can have many threads of execution. So henceforth we can tell a thread is a subset of the process. Different threads which are part of a process share the same address space, meaning they share this data memory, code memory, and heap memory area. So whatever the memory was allocated for this process, that entire memory, like data memory, code memory, everything is shared by different threads. Now, threads maintain their own thread status, like CPU register value, program counter, and stack. So here, just like the process, here also will have, since the process can have several threads, each and every thread will have their own thread status. So that you have to keep in mind. So each and every thread in a process will have their own thread status, and uh, that mainly tells about the register values, program counter, and the stack. So if you see here, you have a data memory for process, code memory for process. Likewise, you have stack memory for thread 1, stack memory for thread 2. So this memory is allocated for a process, so it is shared by different threads. Now, concept of multi-threading. So in this diagram, you can understand. So this the overall is a process. For each process, the code memory, data memory, and stack is shared. And if you see here, um, the stacks for every thread, there is a separate stack. Even here also you can see data memory and code memory is shared by all the processes, sorry, by all the threads, whereas stack, for each and every thread, a separate block is allocated for stack. So the same thing you can see here, code and data is shared among all the threads, whereas stack you can see you have a separate stack for thread 1, separate stack and registers for thread 2, separate stack and registers for thread 3. So what registers are nothing but CPU registers, PC, all this. So, and along with the stack, you can see the registers are nothing but these registers, CPU register, program counter registers, those things. So now let's proceed. So use of multiple threads to execute a process brings the following advantage. So there are certain advantages. What it is a better memory utilization. Multiple threads of the same process share the same address space for data memory. So this reduces the complexity of inter-thread communication. So multiple threads has got the same address space for data. This reduces the complexity of inter-thread communication since variables can be shared across the threads. The same variables can be accessed by all the threads. The means the variables belonging to a particular process will be in this data memory. The whatever variables we are declaring for the process will be in the data memory, and this could be accessed by all the threads. That is the meaning. So since the process is split into different threads, when one thread enters a wait state, the CPU can be utilized by other thread of the processes that does not require the event. And for it mainly speeds up the execution of the process. So same thing. For example, thread 1 has gone to some wait state. It wants some IO operation something. In that case, immediately we can switch over to the other thread and we can start working, which does not require the IO. So you can start executing this. So in this way, you can do better CPU utilization. So this makes efficient CPU utilization and CPU is engaged all the time. So now coming to the POSIX standard. So what is coming to the thread standards. Thread standards deal with different standards available for thread creation and management. And these standards are utilized by the operating system for thread creation and thread management. So there are several thread standards and they are utilized by the operating system for thread creation and thread management. It is a set of thread class libraries. The commonly available thread class libraries are, so there are three different categories. POSIX standards is the first one. We have three, we will see one by one. So POSIX standards is one. Let us see, POSIX standards stands for Portable Operating System Interface. It stands for Portable Operating System Interface. The POSIX 4 standard deals with real-time extensions, and POSIX 4a standard deals with thread extensions. So 4 stands for real-time extension and 4a stands for thread extensions. The POSIX standard library for thread creation and management is pthreads library. These are some of the standards, and it defines a set of POSIX thread creation, and usually this mainly makes use of C language. So how to create a thread in C language? So let's see. Here you are seeing how to create in pthread underscore create. You're trying to create a thread, and what are the things you have here? You're creating a thread ID, and for each thread, what are the attributes required, and what are the functions that are there in this threads, and the arguments. So arguments that has to be passed to this thread. So these are the four things that will be used to create a thread. One is the thread ID, other one is the attributes required for thread, and the next one is the functions that are present in the thread, and the next one the arguments for each thread. Let's go to the next type of thread standards, that is Win32 threads. So Windows 32 threads are the threads supported by various flavors of Windows operating systems. So this is mainly supported by the operating system, Windows operating systems. And now the Win32 application programming interface libraries provide the standard set of Win32 thread creation and management functions. And they are created with the APIs. They have their own interface, application programming interface. So you're seeing here, you're creating a thread called as the thread which are created, and these are the thread attributes. One parameter is the attributes, and then you have a stack required for that thread, starting address of the stack, and what are the flag registers. We are discussing about the registers, and this talks about the flag registers and the thread ID. So here we discuss all these are the things are used for creating the threads. One is the thread attributes, stack size, then comes the starting address of the stack, then comes the flags that are required for knowing the status of the thread, and then the thread ID. So using this type of APIs, the Win32 threads are created. The third category, the first one was POSIX. In case of POSIX, we created thread using C. And in case of Win32, we created using API. The third category is the Java threads. So now Java threads are the threads supported by Java programming language. So this thread concept is actually proposed in the programming language itself. I think you are working with threads already in Java. Same thing here also I'm going to talk. The Java thread class thread is defined in the package java.lang. So in this package java.lang, the thread class is defined, and this package needs to be imported for using the thread creation functions supported by Java thread class. So this has to be imported for using the thread creations. And there are two ways of creating threads in Java. Either by extending the base thread class, or by implementing an interface. So threads can be created in Java in two ways. One is you have a base class called as thread. You are extending that. In the other one, you are implementing an interface. Now coming to this, extending the thread class, it allows inheriting the methods and variables of the parent class only. So what are the features? If you are trying to extend the thread class, then you can inherit only the methods and variables that are present in the parent class. That's it. Whereas if you take interface, it allows a way to achieve the requirements for a set of classes. So there could be other classes also that you can implement it. So this is the advantage of using an interface in Java. So we'll see an example here. So you're seeing, I hope you're familiar with this type of code. Import java.lang.star. So this is a package. So this is how the threads are created. Public class myThread extends threads. Thread is a main class, and myThread is a class that is extending it. Inside that you have a run function, and this is a print statement printing hello from myThread. This is a print function, and now that is called by the main function. So in the main function, you are invoking the thread new mythread dot start. So this will invoke the mythread class, and internally it will run this function and it will display this code. So this is actually an example. This is actually an example of Java threads. So here we have come across um, these three types. One is through POSIX, second one Windows, and the third one is implementing threads using Java. These are the three different standards, and we saw their examples also.